Don't ask me why I upload videos only once a year, and definitely do not ask me why I keep going to anime conventions when in my last video I was complaining about them for like 20 minutes straight. Well, luckily for you, this is not going to be another video, rest in peace. This was actually quite a nice event. The event happened at Alhambra Arts Center and the location was quite decent. But it was not like built to support such a large crowd. And boy, there were a lot of people. I do not think that the organizers expected a crowd this large. And that's a good thing. The auditorium was full of people and people were definitely outside of the auditorium waiting just because there was no space in there. And the cosplays and everything, all of the showcase and everything that was in that auditorium. I would say that this event was like better than the AnimeCon event because that was like a random farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. But I think an event like this is definitely ready for something like Expo Center in Lahore. That is how large this audience has gotten over the years. This time around, there was like huge hype around the event overall. People could not stop talking about it. Seriously, there were so many people on social media making videos about the event. I thought that me making a video is kind of useless. So yeah, I did not even try to cover it immediately. So let's start with the events and how it went. The stalls, they were quite nice. I recognized many of the stalls from the previous AnimeCon event. Although that event had more stalls and more variety, but the stalls here were decent. A lot of local artists showed up again and that is always nice to see. There are always going to be some figures at these events and a lot of people are really into collecting and displaying these proudly somewhere. And I wouldn't mind doing that as well, but unfortunately I don't want some poor parents to come at my house expecting a well-adjusted member of society when they are like out looking for a man for their daughter, and instead of that they see me and find a plastic doll with her tongue out on my bookshelf sitting there as if that's like some statue that I worship or something. I don't know, I feel like something like that is definitely not for me and not suitable for the household that I have been raised up in, so I've never thought of that. Although I always appreciate stickers and background art that like I could just put somewhere discreetly without being judged as someone who hasn't seen the sun in 10 days. I'm looking at you Genshin players. Sorry, but Amber is the best girl, by the way. There was this guy that was selling these tiny frames for like your wall with characters drawn on the frame. I liked these a lot, but there weren't any characters that I would personally keep in my room, so I skipped these. Okay, so this part was the funniest. I was going through the stalls and suddenly I saw this stall and I couldn't believe it for a second. I froze up. I could not hold it in. Believe me, this is what was in front of me. So if you live under a rock, let me enlighten you. Anime fans are not known for their hygiene. In fact, anime cons worldwide are notorious for their smells. To have a deodorant stall at an anime con is just gold. It was like a slap to all of the anime fans. Well played to the marketing person that decided to sponsor the spot. This middle part was kind of a waste. It looked incomplete and I really don't understand what was the point of that dome. Almost no one was interested in having a look. There are always these posters at anime cons being sold, although I don't really see a point of buying these. Let me tell you a secret. Just go to your nearest printing shop. There are like printing shops that like print flexes and they are quite common. It's not hard to find those. And Last time I went there, I just got a few of the posters that I liked printed, and that was like rupees 90 each. And instead of like having to select from these predefined pictures that I don't even like, of anime that I don't even like, I can just go there and get any picture, any poster printed, and that is so much cheaper. It's a no-brainer. My friend bought like a few of these, and it was like 1,000 per poster, which sounded insane to me. You could pull these images from Google, and that's what they did as well, and you can just get some printed yourself. While these posters are cool, I don't see a charm in buying these instead of like something hand drawn by some artist, which is like something that you can actually find on the stall as well. That's like someone actually putting in some creativity. I've actually given it some thought, and I realized that it is better to put small and cheaper items on your stall, like these badges or these wall frames that you see in other stalls as well, that previously in other cons they were only selling like bigger frames and they come out to be cheaper. And when you are thinking about spending money on the stall, you don't see it like as an investment, you just see it like that's something cool and it isn't that expensive, so why not? So I think that those kind of things work really well. These glass frames always amaze me, like they look so nice. I praised them last time as well, but I don't think I could afford one at that time, but this time they had these tiny ones and they are so nice, and it's keychain size, so you could just get one. It's not that expensive, so I got one. Actually, not even one, I got 3 of these as gifts for someone, and you know, that's kind of beautiful. That's how you know that someone really cares about you. They gift you something, and the thing that they have gifted, they did not really like put in any effort in that thing. They just bought it from someone, and the person that they are buying it from put in like hours of effort, and they just give it to you because they can afford it. Like, that's how you know that someone really cares about you. One of the highlights was this large 3D Goku that someone made. God knows how. It was so tall and it looked so nice. I have no idea what that stall was selling. I think I saw some small ones as well and some other cardboard fun things, but yeah, and there was this tiny little cute penguin as well, but this was amazing. I wish that there were badges here that I actually liked, because I like the idea of like having small things that you can put around. So I would have put some on my bag, but I couldn't really find one that resonated with me. Just by looking at these, I could tell that these aren't really for a male audience, and that the stall owner is probably a girl in like her teens or something. There was this temporary tattoo shop as well. It had no relation with anime whatsoever, so I don't even know what it was doing there, but they had like this very dated but very nice meme as a poster, so they get a pass. Okay, so finally, the cosplays. They were nice. You could see people's enthusiasm. I don't want to be that person who critiques the accuracy of the pose of a 5-year-old in Spider-Man's costume. And some of these people have spent tens of thousands of real world non-anime, non-Genshin Primogens real money for their cosplay preparation. So I'm just going to play these in the back while I tell you some stories. So the event happened on Saturday and Sunday. So there were 2 days, and both of these days had auditorium slots with cosplay walks. Before the actual walk, there was like a buffer time in which the person on the stage, he was taking AMV requests and playing them. All of that was fine and all until someone requested Doraemon. The guy on the stage couldn't help but cringe, which just makes it like 10 times better. The crowd, they went wild. They kept shouting Doraemon, and until the guy actually gave in and played it. Let me tell you something. more people were singing along to Doraemon than to any other song. And no, that is not cringe. Doraemon is just that relatable. We have all watched it. We all know Doraemon. Even people who are forced into this anime convention by someone weep that really wanted to go. Although the same crowd lost its aura in my eyes after standing up for respect. They were doing like that AOT's military hand gesture thing when the Attack on Titan song was played, and these people would like complain about their country and why patriotism is wrong, and like Asim Munir. But they would stand up in respect for an anime depicting a genocidal 14-year-old. That is real cringe. Anyway, the next day AMVs were being played again, and you know where I'm going with this. Guess what the crowd did? Of course, we bullied the guy on the stage again for Doraemon, and he was basically done with the crowd and its obsession with Doraemon. But like after 15 minutes of us all collectively begging him that we are going to listen to nothing except Doraemon, of course our beloved Doraemon is on the screen again. Massive respect to the crowd. You guys are alright. Just go out of your basement every once a while. There was this guy at the con, and he was holding a box with like fake grass, like literal fake grass in it, and you could read the words on the box. It was like a very badly written touch grass on it. Honestly, that is comedic gold, and that is a troll I deeply respect. I'm kind of jealous that I did not think of doing something like that. I would do that 10 out of 10. But I couldn't have been doing that kind of cosplay because I was actually wearing that hat that Luffy from One Piece wears. It is a long story as to why I was wearing that hat, since I have never watched One Piece and never will. I do not have the patience to go through 700 episodes, but let's ignore that for 1 second. And you know, besides, if I started watching One Piece, who is going to complete? That time I got reincarnated as a vending machine, season 2. That is where the actual plot is. Anyhow, I'm sitting in the auditorium with a Luffy hat on me. This guy rushes at me, hands me something, and before I could comprehend what has happened, he dashes off somewhere. I look behind and I couldn't find him. So I then look at what he has just handed me, and he handed me a note to tell me how bad One Piece is and why he hates it. I do not know how many of these he had printed out, but bro came prepared. The note says, "Why I hate One Piece and everyone should hate it too. Pacing is slow and uneven. Many episodes are dedicated and unnecessary long scenes and repetitive dialogue, making it feel like the story progresses very slowly, especially in the beginning. Animation is bad, art is lacking detail, and the character design is so terrible. ठीक है भाई, ओडा का अपना style है, but it's so bad. First 1000 episodes are filler. Goddamn, so much wasted time. Like, you can start watching at episode 1000 and it will still make sense because everything before that is just useless. Character design is like Gober. Everyone in One Piece has a tragic backstory, so no character development, bland, boring. In short, I will always hate One Piece from..." And then there is this kind gentleman's Instagram tag, I guess. I have got to say, although the guy had guts, but he did not have enough guts to get in a fist fight with someone, because he definitely ran away not wanting to cause a scene. which is terrible because I feel bad for not being a One Piece fan in that moment. Like, this note was reserved for some huge massive fan and he was supposed to get so angry after reading this, but instead of that I got this when I don't even know the show. One of the weirdest but one of the most memorable interactions. Mr. One Piece hater, whoever you are, keep up the good work, and I hope someone didn't read it fast enough to catch you and like punch you. Who am I kidding? These people have the time to watch 1,000 episodes. They are definitely not active enough physically to be able to run after someone. GG, touch grass. I am joking, by the way. I will watch it someday. Maybe get me to 1,000,000 subs and then I will watch it. Anyway, that was the 2025 AnimeCon, the Geekcon, and it was pretty fun. There are other things to talk about as well, like that Taken tournament or the live songs, but I actually needed to be somewhere else on Sunday, so I skipped most of the second day. I did not want to skip the rest of the event, but something inside me flipped for some reason. Maybe it was something I had seen earlier that got etched into my subconsciousness, forcing me to hang out with real human beings for once instead of being at a cartoon fans meetup. Anyway, does anyone know when the Vending Machine Reincarnation Season 3 comes out?